Thank you very much, Lasca Hirlock. I'd like to welcome Minister Flanagan and congratulate you on your recent appointment. I don't think I've personally had the opportunity to do it publicly, so I'd like to congratulate you on your appointment. Minister, I am here today following a meeting that I attended last Thursday evening with school completion programmes in the Dundalk-Drogheda area for County Louth. I must just point out, first of all, that the dedication of the people who are involved with the school completion programmes, we all know how vital they are and the fantastic service that they give for children who are at risk of otherwise dropping out of education. So I think, first of all, we need to look at that. And as a former teacher myself, I've actively witnessed the benefits, the huge benefits that there are to school completion programmes, and indeed have attended some of the literacy courses in the Dundalk area in one of the national schools in the summer, and have witnessed myself the valuable work that's ongoing there. So, as I said, I commend them. I must point out as well that the meeting was held on Thursday night when there was a huge World Cup match going on, and I think so it shows the dedication of the people that there were, how deeply they feel about the whole idea of school completion programmes. And what I'm here, Minister, is to ask you about the letter that they got with the proposed cut of 6.5%. Now, over the last 5 years, there have been immense cuts to the school completion programme. We all are looking at the DESH and how important DESH schooling is, and we've seen from Minister Quinn's recent press statement on how DESH is working and how school completion programmes are helping to assist these young people to stay at school. I think 1,136 are the amount of pupils in the Louth area that are targeted by the school completion programme, and how vital it is for them. Now, just in relation to the cuts, I understand that the Child and Family Agency have not yet finalised their proposals for funding for school completion programmes, and I would think that the coordinators and educational partners are right to push this issue forward, because before it's too late and the proposals are finalised, because I know when I contacted your office last week, when I had got the invitation to this meeting, this was one of the things that they'd said, well, it's proposed. So, Minister, that's why I feel that if we come early, that the situation can be addressed early, and look at what these cuts, can do. I'm aware that once the proposal for funding is finalised by the Child and Family Agency, the school completion programmes will then formulate their retention plan or service plan. We have time, as I said, to address the issue at an early stage before programmes will be asked to further scale back their services and children are adversely affected. And that is what will happen. The valuable after-school work that is done with them, the valuable in-school and the valuable holiday work that's done will all be affected. Minister, I also understand that the ESRI are undertaking a review of the entire school completion programme, and I would ask that you provide an update on this review and when it is expected to be published. I would also appreciate if you would please outline the policy going forward for school completion programmes and the engagement that you have had to date with them on the issue. I understand that there are many considerations and decisions, and I think the school completion programme, the people that are working in these, fully understand that cuts have had to be made, but they need to be weighed in this matter. And I would like to highlight early that we do have the opportunity to address this issue before it becomes a much larger problem. We need to ensure that we protect our DESH initiatives to provide the best outcomes for the most vulnerable and disadvantaged children. And if I could just complete on one point that was made at the meeting last week, is that it costs on average €90,000 to keep somebody in our jails. It has been proven that school completion programmes assist people to stay out of jails, and I think that the money that could be saved here, we're saving ourselves in the long run. If we put the money into our children, put the money into our education, we will save it in the long run.
Thank you, Senator Moran. Minister.
Thanks, Cahirlock. I want to thank Senator Mary Moran for raising this important issue here this evening, with particular reference to her own area of Dundalk, and I want to acknowledge the points that she made about the importance of the scheme to children in her area. The school completion programme aims to retain young people in the formal education system to completion of senior cycle and to generally improve the school attendance, participation and retention of its target cohort. It is a targeted intervention aimed at those school communities identified through the Department of Education and Skills DESH Action Plan for Educational Inclusion. It involves 124 locally managed projects and related initiatives operating across 470 primary and 224 post-primary schools to provide targeted supports to approximately 36,000 children and young people. There are 5 school completion projects in County Louth with a combined allocation of just over €1 million for this year. The programme's project model approach gives local communities the autonomy to devise innovative approaches to address the needs of young people most at risk of early school leaving. The programme is one of 3 service strands within the continuum of education welfare service being implemented by TUSLA, the Child and Family Agency, to support children, their families and schools. The other service strands are Home School Community Liaison Scheme and Education Welfare Service. The objective is to deliver a strategic integrated approach to school attendance and to participation and retention, and to enhance the supports available to children and their families and their schools. Local projects work in an integrated way with the agency's educational welfare service strands and with voluntary and statutory agencies. School completion programme projects typically provide a range of supports which are delivered at a targeted whole school or whole class level. It includes initiatives where appropriate, in school, after school, out of school and during holiday periods. These include initiatives such as breakfast clubs, homework clubs, after-school supports, mentoring programmes and therapeutic interventions. Projects seek to ensure that schools have in place the appropriate procedures to monitor, identify and respond to the attendance, participation and retention issues. They also provide transfer programmes to support young people transitioning from primary to post-primary schools. Since the setting up of the Child and Family Agency earlier this year, this has operational responsibility for the school completion programme, including the allocation of funds to projects within the programme. In 2014, €26.456 million has been made available to the agency for the programme. Individual school completion programme projects are funded in accordance with the academic year, which runs from the 1st of September through to the 31st of August. This crosses 2 financial years. Funding is currently issued in 3 allocations, typically in September, in December and the final drawdown in May. I want to recognise the importance of the scheme in the Dundalk area, as has been outlined by Senator Moran. As with all major spending programmes, the school completion programme budget was subject to examination under the terms of the 2011 Comprehensive Review of Expenditure. This process identified a requirement of savings of 6.5% per annum across the programme over the period 2012, 2013, 2014. I'm advised that proposals have yet to be formulated by the agency in relation to the funding for school completion programme projects in the coming year of 2014-2015. As an initial step, the agency invited all school completion programme projects to commence planning for the next cycle of the programme within the available funding parameters. The agency has commenced the detailed process of evaluating and approving the 2014-15 school retention plans for individual projects. It's anticipated that the agency will advise projects of the outcome of the process and of their allocations in time for the start of the new school year on the 1st of September. The agency will continue to work closely with local management committees, with schools, local school completion programme coordinators to assist projects throughout the process. The potential for any changes in the funding allocated to this programme in future years is a matter to be considered in the estimates and the budgetary process having regard to the resources available to government. The Senator will wish to note that an operational review of the school completion programme has already commenced. The objectives of the review are to identify best practice in supporting school retention, to clarify roles and responsibilities, and to build upon the the valuable learning and experience to date across the programme. It's anticipated that the review will assist in identifying the reforms necessary to consolidate the programme on a sustainable footing for the future, and to ensure that available funds are targeted to those services which provide the greatest contribution to educational outcomes for young people at risk of educational disadvantage.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Moore, you have 1 minute. Supplementary question.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister, for your response. I am slightly disappointed. I knew exactly what the school completion programmes did before I came in, and you know, I think I have all that information, and I did get it in a letter for you verbatim of what's on the adjournment, your answer tonight. I got that in a letter last week. I'm not just talking about Dundalk, I'm talking about County Louth as a whole, where between 2010 and 2015, last week they reported that €785,804 has been cumulatively lost to their projects. If I could just point out, the TUSLA mission statement says, put the child first. We need to put the child first. Therefore, talking about a proposed cut, I would plead with the Minister that this does not come into force. Or when you're talking there about budgetary, why send out letters to people and why say work within this parameter that you're going to be cut again if nothing has been decided yet? So that's why I'm saying to you, that's why I'm bringing up this debate now today, that it's early, that we have time to put a situation in place where everybody knows very clearly. I mean, you're saying they hope that they will have the review completed by September, with that they'll know. We should know now in June, because national schools are finishing up now at the end of the week for the summer holidays. We should know well in place in June what plans we can have in September, not to be kind of, you know, waiting until the end of August to know exactly what's going to happen. So, Minister, I would ask that, you know, definitive answer to these schools, that the five areas that have school completion programmes in Louth, and indeed throughout the whole country, that we have a much clearer, and so that we can give our children the chance that they deserve.
Thank you, Senator. Minister.
Thank you, Cahill. I accept the point the Senator has made about putting the child first. I also accept the point she makes about the fact that investment in after-school projects such as this are, in effect, a long-term investment for the future. I will advise the Senator that the Child and Family Agency will continue to work closely with local management committees in County Louth and with schools, and with the local school completion programme coordinators, and that projects such as the one she mentioned in County Louth will be assisted right throughout the process. I acknowledge what she has said about the time frame. I think it's important, and I think it's timely that we had the opportunity tonight in the Shannon, in advance of the new school year plans being set in place, to give consideration to the situation in County Louth. And I hope that through local dialogue between representatives of the Child and Family Agency and the school projects involved, that we can meet the requirements of the young people in County Louth.
Thank you, Minister. I thank Minister Flanagan for attending the House, and the House stands adjourned till 10:30 tomorrow.